The Darkness Falls mod for 7 Days to Die is extremely involved, it's extremely hard, and it's extremely easy to get lost or confused, especially if you are a beginner. There are a lot of bottlenecks in 7 Days to Die, and I don't really want to teach you how to avoid one specific bottleneck. I want to help you to learn the things that you need to know to navigate bottlenecks in Darkness Falls, because there are many. I made a comprehensive list of things that helped me out along the way, and I've narrowed that list down into what I think is the best advice that I can possibly give you. There's probably a ton more that could be added. Please, absolutely, put your tips and tricks for 7 Days to Die Darkness Falls in the comments section. Let's go. Keep everything. Darkness Falls is designed in such a way that eventually you will need everything at some point. This is something that I learned the hard way. In vanilla, when you get a radiator, the only thing a radiator is really good for is scrapping down into brass. But in Darkness Falls, you need radiators to make advanced forges. So keep some radiators. Short iron pipes. It takes 45 seconds to craft one short iron pipe. Keep your short iron pipes, because you might be on a roll and all of a sudden you can make the next thing, or make a bicycle chassis, or you need to repair a pipe weapon and you don't have any pipes because in order to not be encumbered, you've been scrapping all of your short iron pipes that you get. Now you need 20 pipes and it's going to take 45 seconds a piece to craft them. Same could be said for nails. One single nail is 5 seconds. In vanilla, it's like 1 second. Crafting, especially in the early game, takes a really long time, so keep everything. Never, ever read the books for the XP, and never, ever sell them. In Darkness Falls, you start out with a blank class paper, and you take that class paper and you choose a class, and this is what your character is going to be good at and specialize in. There are 7 classes. Eventually, you're going to need to venture into other classes. To make a blank class paper, you need a bundle of skill notes, 120 of them, 30 paper, 2 ink, and 1 quill. I've already read this knife schematic. I could sell it for 160 dukes. I could read it for the XP, or I can scrap it for the bundle of skill notes, and in this case I got 2 of them. Read them if you need them, like this orange juice schematic. I'm going to go ahead and read one of them and scrap the other. Blunt weapons notes. I do not plan to go into blunt weapons in this playthrough. I'm going to scrap it. Archery notes. Am I going to use a bow in this playthrough? And if the answer is no, scrap it. If you're not going to use it, scrap it. Eventually you're going to want to unlock all of them to take advantage of all of their unique and special features, which is going to cost you a grand total of 840 bundles of skill notes. So start early. You'll thank me later, I promise. Out of all the tips I'm going to share with you today, this one is my favorite. Don't conserve ammo. If it moves, shoot it. Of course, you shouldn't burn up all of your ammo. And of course, using guns can call in screamers, but Darkness Falls is action-based. And it's very simple. Learn by doing. If you want to get good with automatic weapons, you have to use automatic weapons. If you want to get good with shotguns, you have to use a shotgun. If you want to get good with pistols, rifles, etc., you have to use it. Eventually, you will get to a point where your melee weapon works really well, but it doesn't quite work well enough, and you're gonna have to pull out a gun. If you've been conserving your ammo, then your gun isn't gonna work as well as it could as well. In the mid to late game, you will have so much ammo that you'll be opening it up to get the gunpowder, bullet tips, and casings so you can make other ammos from it. So if you want your shotgun, your pistol, your rifle, etc. to be effective, you have to use it. I could easily dedicate just this one single workbench to decrafting ammo and recrafting it into AP tips. And eventually I will graduate into coil ammo, and eventually I will graduate into laser ammo. So everything has a progression, everything has its place. Eventually you're going to run into a fight that you are not strong enough to take, that you can't take, you don't have time to take the fight, or you're just overwhelmed, you're running out of ammo, you're starving to death, pick a thing. But eventually it's a promise that you will run into a fight that you cannot and should not take in Darkness Falls, and you'll have to run and it's perfectly fine. Wellness is a motherfucker to deal with. Every bump, every scrape, every cut, every sprain, every break will affect your wellness. Every time you die, it brings your wellness down, which means that the maximum amount of health that you have is less. So less wellness equals less health. Less health equals less hits that you can take, and it also means less stamina that you can have. Don't let yourself get hit. Don't let yourself get an abrasion. Don't let yourself die. Running away is absolutely feasible in Darkness Falls. So, you play vanilla, you know what screamers are like. This is a screamer horde in Darkness Falls. This is a fight you would want to run from. Just a fun fact for a late game, you can fight Lucifer. It varies how much HP he has, but in this case, he has 97,137, and I have seen him have 108,000 plus. When you fight Lucifer, not only does he spawn zombies around you, but he also resurrects zombies. So running away is absolutely a thing. Plant life, farming, cooking, and I've touched on wellness a little bit already, but I want to expand on it because it was a problem for me and it will most likely be a problem for you. The amount of recipes in Darkness Falls is vast. There's a ton more plant life, there's a ton more recipes, there's a ton more features when it comes to farming and cooking, and there is also a thing called wellness. You'll see now that my maximum health is at 111. My wellness determines how much health I am able to have. The maximum amount of wellness you can have is 300. However, any bump, scrape, sprain, infection, or death will lower your overall wellness, which in turn will lower your overall health, also stamina. In order to increase your wellness, you have to eat good and drink good and make sure you take your vitamins. The most notable things that you can take for wellness is beer, which gives you 5 wellness. Tomato juice, also orange tea, will both give you 3 wellness. Vitamins will give you 2 wellness. And pumpkin bread, which is the one that I choose to make most often, gives you 5 wellness. We're going to make fun of Kane because he obviously likes pumpkin spice lattes. Pumpkin bread gives you 5, pumpkin pie gives you 5 wellness, and pumpkin cheesecake gives you 5 wellness. With the exception of vitamins, these are not things that you're going to unlock quickly or in the early game. Vitamins can be purchased from the White River Scout. The base price is 160 dukes, and every time she restocks, I buy all of them. My preferred early game food is orange slices. I like orange slices the best because they're easy, they're abundant, they're cheap, and oranges have less utility than, say, apples or potatoes or anything else. Now, don't get it twisted. If you're hungry, you have to eat the potato or the apple or whatever. But just keep in mind that in Darkness Falls, you have to cook everything before you eat it. You can plant orange trees and apple trees, but in this current version, when you plant them, they're invisible. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Also notable that in Darkness Falls, you cannot just eat canned food. A clay bowl and a can of miso and combine them together to make a cooked can of miso in a bowl. The reason you don't eat the can is because it has a 20% chance to give you food poisoning. Food poisoning will kill you quickly. There are also chicken coops in Darkness Falls, which provide you with eggs and feathers. There are also animal snares, which provide you with animal fat, leather, and raw meat. There are also beehives, which provide you with honey. I recommend making every one of these as soon as possible and in excess. You need a shitload of generic schematics. Generic schematics make mods such as insulated liner, quad pocket armor mod, armor spike mod. Every mod that you can think of requires generic schematics to make. And to make a generic schematic, you're going to need paper, ink, a quill, and 4 blueberries. You need a shitload of blueberries because blueberries is also potentially one of many ingredients in ink. Basically, what I'm saying is make a garden. Darkness Falls is extremely involved, and eventually you will get stuck or confused on something. Read everything. In this playthrough, I am level 1, game stage 1. I haven't done anything except for spawn some things in to demonstrate some shit to you. Let's say I want to make a workbench. To make a workbench, I need forged iron, mechanical parts, and wood. If I click over on this little unlock button here, this little padlock, it'll tell me what I need to unlock the workbench. And it tells me that I need workbenches level 1 or advanced engineering level 1. Okay, let's go look at those. We're going to read both of them. Advanced engineering level 1 is something that comes with the laborer class. It's built in. For that, I need to complete the class quest. When you choose a class, you get a series of tasks, and once you complete those tasks, then you can start unlocking things. Workbenches unlocks the workbench recipe, and it requires you to have tool crafting level 1, and that's it. So tool crafting level 1, I need to be player level 5. Now that I'm at the end of the road, I know what I need to do. I need to focus on getting to player level 5 so I can throw a point into tool crafting, and then I need another point after that to throw into workbenches level 1. I have to reverse engineer everything that I'm looking into crafting. Read everything. Fusion rocket, what the fuck? I mean, this does a lot of block damage, a lot of entity damage, and has a big radius. Okay, I never heard of this before, but I want to play with the fusion rocket. Anyway, moving on. Pretty expensive. You see what happens when you read? You find cool toys to play with. Boy, my CPU doesn't like that though. The next tip is about storage. Lockable ammo pile, armor rack, clothing rack, gun safe, copy maker, lockers, metal desks, microwave, lockable storage chest, lockable munitions, lockable retro fridge, lockable pill case, lockable toolbox. Every one of these has a storage capacity that is 12 by 10, which equals 120 slots. It's the best storage in the game. It's better than your best steel box. And one of the best features in Darkness Falls is called the broadcast upgrade. Remember when I said read everything? Look up the broadcast upgrade and then read it. Radio upgrade for writable storage and lockable storage. This allows the containers to broadcast their storage to most workstations within 15 blocks. What does that mean? It means that this craftables box that has batteries and tires and engines and electrical parts and duct tape and mechanical parts, I can go into my workbench that's right next to it, and if it's in this box, I don't have to pull it out of this box to craft it. It's very nice, but it's also kind of dangerous. To use the broadcast upgrade, you have to have the broadcast upgrade crafted and in your inventory, and you have to use a nail gun or a hammer or a multi-tool and walk up to your storage container and upgrade it. And it now says remote crafting enabled, but it is not enabled yet. You have to open it, and up in the top left, there's a little switch that you have to turn on. In my opinion, this is counterintuitive and stupid, and I think that like 9 out of 10 people fuck this up, including myself. Another thing they really don't tell you about Darkness Falls, and well, why would they, is that you could fit through a 1-block space. It's a little fiddly sometimes, but you can get it done. This is crouching to sneak, and then when I stop, I crouch lower. I can now fit through a 1-block space, which is nice. I decided to use Razor as my horde base, and this is my way in through this 1-block space, and it's also my way out through the 1-block space. Also, could be easily used as a tip. The trader's walls are 40,000 HP, so yeah. I've been able to last quite a few days here, but they're starting to destroy it, so time to move. The next tip is going to be one that you'll probably find out the hard way unless you find it out from this video right now. The wasteland is radiated. You have to have hazmat gear to go into the wasteland. You can make mods that go on your armor called Radiation Ready boots, chest, gloves, and helmet. You need all 4 pieces to go on all 4 pieces of armor, and that's gonna cost you 15 general schematics each, plus 6 hazmat fiber each, and 10 duct tape each. Very expensive. The hazmat fiber is actually going to be the killer here for you. You cannot make hazmat fiber. You have to kill hazmat zombies and collect it from loot bags. Your next option is anti-radiation pills. Anti-radiation pills are locked behind Master Scientist. I dare say, and this is just an extra little tidbit, if you go Scientist right off the bat, you probably won't need to go into any other classes, period. I mean, you don't actually need a class to get to the end game of Darkness Falls. It's just going to take you a long time. But Science is going to get you through it the fastest, in my opinion. So, radiation pills, it's a pill. You eat it, 22 minutes, I am temporarily immune to radiation. 22 minutes is not a very long time. The chances of you running into something that you're gonna want to run from in the wasteland is extremely high. Furthermore, if you die in the wasteland and you have a sleeping bag in the wasteland and you spawn in that sleeping bag and you don't have radiation pills in a box right next to your bedroll, then you are going to just die again and again and again and again. Fortunately, in the Fun Pimp's newest version of 7 Days to Die, it spawns you right next to your backpack, which I think is bullshit. The best way to combat radiation is power armor, and you cannot craft it for a very long time. So, if I'm being honest, put that out of your mind until later. In my opinion, the most efficient way to go about it is to use anti-radiation pills until you are able to make power armor. Don't forget the key cards. I want to say that Darkness Falls actually has a storyline, but it doesn't per se. It has a series of things that you need to do. Once you do 10 jobs for the White River Scout, she will send you to another trader, and then you start doing jobs for him, and then he'll send you to another trader, and you do jobs for that person, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. A lot of people don't actually know that, and I didn't know that the first time I played Darkness Falls. But the tip here is don't forget the key cards. Blue key card, green key card, red key card. It's going to be like 5, 6, 7, 8 kilometers away. It's going to be a long trek. Don't forget the key cards. One more time for the people in the back. Don't forget the key cards. This tip is going to save your life. Don't go to the snow early. Just don't do it. You're going to get screwed. You are sweltering. Find clothing or take shelter. When you're sweltering, you will get thirsty faster. Hypothermia. You are experiencing hypothermia. Find better clothing, shelter, or a campfire, or you will die soon. With hypothermia, you will burn more calories, move slower, and slowly take damage. So sweltering and hypothermia are awful. Also, tree stumps. Search tree stumps. The insulated liner mod and the cooling mesh mod are available in Darkness Falls. However, I suggest yeeting those out the fucking window because they don't do shit. Advanced cooling mesh mod and advanced insulated liner mod. Skip the first one, go to the second one. You're going to need one of each on each piece of armor. Even though the cooling mesh mod and the advanced cooling mesh mod stack, you don't need all that. What I'm saying is don't go to the snow early. Just don't do it. You're gonna get screwed. I can't even move. And those are my top 10 tricks for Darkness Falls. And these are the things that I wish that I knew before I started playing Darkness Falls. Cheers, have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.